everybody. How's everybody doing today? It looks like we've got several people on here, but I can't see any of your faces.
Oh no.
Oh no. Turn it on. Let's participate. This is definitely going to be a class that you want to be active in. Ask a lot of questions. Let me turn my volume down over here on this thing. Okay, so you can see on my screen where it says mobile agent, right, Sam? Okay, this is weird for me only because I've got one screen that's the presentation, and then I've got another, which is my cell phone. And so whenever I start to show what I want to do today is show you on my cell phone how I run my business. So it's not just about, let me close this door. It's not just about concepts like download this app and use this. I really want you guys to see me interact on my phone and what I'm actually doing. So let me move you all over here. So I'm like looking at you and not looking somewhere else. Okay. So how many people is everybody in the room? Are you guys, tell me where you're at production wise, how long you've been licensed, things like that. That means you're going to have to unmute, maybe turn on your camera.
1 month. 1 month in.
1 month in. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for coming. I'm glad you're here. What about everybody else?
Couple weeks in.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
I love it. Okay, so all of you guys are in my coaching program, right? Main Street Coaching is your coach, and Bonnie's been hooking up with you?
Yes.
Okay, good. That makes me really happy. So I'll tell you a little bit about me. My name is Amy Tremayne. If you haven't met me yet, I'm sorry, we'll get a chance to meet. We're meeting here, but we'll get a chance to meet in the future. I've been in business since 2014. Before 2014, I was like in sales manager. I just worked regular jobs. I got into the business then, and I've had a successful real estate business, a modest one. It hasn't been huge. I don't sell 100 homes a year. But ever since my first year in real estate, I've capped and I've made over 6 figures. Why is that relevant? Because I did a lot of it from my phone. I hate being sat at a desk. In fact, this job of being team leader and all these things that I'm doing now has kept me locked in an office and a desk, and I'm pulling my hair out. So if you ask me what I do on the weekends, I'm like on a motorcycle, riding off into the nature and swimming in rivers and like getting wild and crazy. Why? Because I'm like tied to this desk all day. But when I was a brand new agent, I didn't want to be tied to my desk. I had 2 small children, or I had 1 small child. I was pregnant. I didn't want to pay for an office. I didn't want to buy a new computer. I'm kind of frugal in that sense. Back then I was like, man, I just spent a bunch of money to get my license and to pay my board dues and to pay MLS. And now I need this equipment and stuff. I had an old laptop that I've been using for a while, but I had this. I had an iPhone that I spent about, I think at the time it was like $800, maybe $700 for an iPhone. And I was like, there's gotta be a way. This is 2020. When was that? 2014. I was like, there's got to be apps on all of these systems that we're using that are going to help me run my business from my phone. So you could catch me on a Tuesday at the river prospecting because I had earphones and a phone, and I had an app on my phone that had all my clients in it. That's why I decided that real estate was one of the easiest jobs I will ever have, because I'm not tied to being anywhere. Okay, I'm going to show you guys now. How did I develop it so that I didn't have to be on a computer all the time? There are some functionalities that you just can't get on a phone that you can get on a desktop. But guess what, guys? You actually have a desktop on your phone. You have a browser on your phone. Everybody does. That browser is a desktop. And if you just, whenever you search for a website on that, you can find at the bottom that there's a desktop version. And if you just click that, it'll bring up the desktop version, and now you have full functionality. No matter what system that you're using, they do have that available. So I encourage you, even if you see things on this class today and you're like, that's not full functionality, don't worry, you can go into the desktop version on your browser and take care of that. All right, is everybody ready to get started? Was that a good background? At least you know that I'm 1, capable of teaching you something. And 2, that I actually do this to this very day. Okay. So let's talk about it. Why would you run your business from your phone? So remember that laptop that I talked about? Yeah, it was a piece of crap, but I worked on that. In the beginning of my business, I put all my files on it, like all my client files, everything. Well, that laptop took a crap on me and I lost all of it. I was probably like 2 years into the business. And so that means I had at least, 40 transactions sitting on a computer and all of it was gone. And that was the moment that I was like, I'm never going to download anything again. Everything will be cloud-based for me because I cannot let this happen. So everything that I do is cloud-based. I could log on to your phone, I could log on to your computer and run my entire business just like I did anywhere else. That's really good too, because like, say you lose your phone, say you lose your computer, say you're not where you need to be. Like I've been in a hotel in another state and I'm like, can I use your computer here? And then I've done what I need to do. So being cloud-based, even if you don't run your business from your phone, be cloud-based with all of anything you need to save. It's convenient. You take your phone everywhere, right? You take your phone everywhere. Faster response times. I'm telling you that I have gotten contracts accepted, deals to close, referrals from other agents out of state, and clients have all worked with me and chosen to work with me because I'm the one that answered the fastest. I got my offer in the fastest. I get the fastest responses to get the deal closed. I answer my dang phone all the time. And I'm just faster. I text faster, I do it all. So there's no excuses for not getting your lead generation done. That's another reason why when Keller Williams created Command, which is, you guys are going to be learning about this system that we use to run our business, there was no app. Dagger in my heart. I was like, how am I supposed to do anything? And so I had to go to my browser and type in Command and do this hard stuff. When they came out with the app, I was like, this is going to revolutionize everything. And here's why. Sometimes you're in places where you're like bored. Do you guys ever go anywhere and get bored? I see heads nodding. I see heads bobbing. Okay, cool. I go to lots of places and get bored. What do you normally do when you're bored? What do you get on?
Go on your phone.
You get on your phone, right? And then where do you scroll? What do you scroll through?
Instagram.
Insta Twitters, Facebookies. We waste a lot of time. So I decided that I only had a certain amount of time before I wanted to retire. No joke. I'm one of the laziest people when it comes to like wanting to do things. Like half of the stuff that I do, I don't want to do. It's because there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I know that I want to retire by 40. If I don't retire by 40, you can all come and smack me around. Okay, so I want you to hold me accountable, but I really do. That's 4 years away. Back then it was a lot farther, but I decided that I was going to work really hard and be available all the time because I don't want to be working when I'm 80. I don't want to be working when I'm 70. I don't even want to be working when I'm 50. What does that require of me? That requires me to put in a lot of work right now so that I don't have to later. So my phone always being on me and me deciding that I'm never going to be bored. When I'm bored, I try not to scroll. I get in my phone and I call somebody. I call a client, I call somebody and I say, hey, how you doing? That's it. That's all I would do. I'll call a lead and say, hey, you were looking at a house on my website. I noticed it. Do you want to go take a look at it? And just open up a conversation. Why? Because if I can take all the little 10-minute boring parts of my day and lead gen during those times, how much more work do you think I'm going to get done? And how much more less time do I have to spend sitting in front of my computer doing lead gen if I can break it down throughout the day? And you guys will learn, man, you'll plan for like 2 hours of lead gen in your day, and then life comes by and sweeps that away like a rushing river. It's crazy. So I decided I will make 0 excuses for my lead gen, and I could lead gen anywhere. And that's why I chose to start working on my phone, because I wanted to be able to make a bunch of money really fast. And the way that you do that is always be available, always be working, One day it's going to end. You got to know that one day it's going to end and you're not going to have to work so hard. But that's what I decided. So let's go through it. Oh, and then lower equipment costs. Man, you already bought it. Why go out and have to buy another desktop or another laptop or something like that? Lower equipment costs. So let's jump right into it. Specifically, I'm going to go through some apps that you should be downloading and using on your phone. Number one is the MLS app. How do I pin my phone? I'm going to pin. Okay, you guys should be able to. Can I share? Does it cut you out if I share? Let me see really quick. I'm testing something. All right, so you guys should be able to see my phone right now, right? Okay, I'm going to show you the MLS app. It's right here at the bottom of my screen. Do you see where it says Metro List? It's red, white, and blue. It says Metro List. I'm going to tap on that. It's going to open it up. This is the MLS. You've probably already signed up for it. This is the app that we use. There is no other app that real estate agents, oh, it's telling me I can't log in. It does this because I have too many applications open. Okay, so you don't need to use HomeSnap. You don't need to use, I mean, there's like so many other MLS apps. This is the one, Rapatoni, Metro List, MLS app. Okay. So you can use this to search for homes. So you could type in an address. Oh, never mind. I can't, that's the wrong address here. You can find an address. You can look at the property. You can see the agent remarks. You can see showing instructions, commission, agent name, agent contact information. So how do I use this? Okay, let's say that somebody reaches out to me and says, I'm looking for this property, and they give me an address. We'll type in let's say that they tell you they're looking at 5312 Southwest Avenue. So you found it, 5312 Southwest Avenue. You know, the best part is that all you have to do is type in Southwest. And look. You don't even need the full address. It will pull up all of the houses that have, so like sometimes my clients are like, oh, I saw this property over on Main Street. And I'm like, okay, I used to be like, okay, can you give me the house number? And they're like, I don't know. It was on Main Street. I just drove by and saw a sign. Well, as long as I can type in Main Street, I'm good now, right? So I love that. So let's take a look at it. 5312. So the client says, I'm really interested in this house. I would love to take a look at it. Is there any way that you could show it to me this afternoon? Well, you know that I'm always available. So I was like, I can. Let me just check on this property for you and make sure that it's available for us to see this afternoon. And then I'll get back to you. And this is all through text. Most of the time my clients are texting me. So I look at this, I'm like, all right, it's been on the market since April 20th. It's 138,000. It just had a price reduction on the 13th for 195. I don't really care about remarks because that's the description that the agent put out there for the buyers to look at. So that's the description. What I'm looking for is this agent remarks. Look what it says. Drive by only. Can I show him the property this afternoon? No. Drive by only, septic tank not connected to public sewer. Due to the property condition, cash offers only. Financing is not available. Seller prefers to sell adjacent lot. Ooh, there's another lot connected to this. Offer date to be determined, blah, blah, blah. So then I can scroll down and I can say, all right, it's been on the market for 148 days, probably because nobody can see the inside. It says do not show, but it is vacant. And here's the agent. So if my client wants to see this, but I can't show it, What can I provide for him? Think about it. What could I call the agent and ask? What could I do for him that he can't do on his own? I can provide him with all this information. He can't see this. See how it says agent remarks? He can't see any of that. All he sees is fantastic vacant fixer upper opportunity for investors. Here's everything that's going. We're selling it as is, and we're selling it with this other property. So he knows all that. So my job as the agent and where I can really show up valuable is because I've got access to these agent remarks. I know that he can't actually go look at the property. I know that they're not going to take financing. I can call the agent. So here's why I love this app. What I would do is I would call Rachel, or I would text her and I would say, hey, Rachel, I have a client who's interested in this property. I saw it's a drive-by only. Can we go peruse the outside and look through the windows? Also, do you have any offers on this property? Is there anything else that we should know that's not on the listing? And then I can get that information from her and I can relay it back to my client. The more information that you can give to your client that's not on the MLS, the better. Relaying information to them that's on the MLS doesn't do anything for them. They already saw it, probably on Zillow or some other website. Okay, so you can actually just hold down the phone number and it will give you options, at least on an iPhone. If you have an Android, I don't know what to tell you. No, I'm just kidding. You have the same capability. So you can send a message and you can say, hey, Rachel, my name is Amy Tremayne with KW, interested in Main Street. Any info besides what's on MLS? Any offers? Boom. Then I can send that to her. I'm not going to. I don't want to get her hopes up. Then I can send that to her and I can go back to my client. You can look, you can see everything that's on the listing. Everything, even the price reductions they've done. You can even go to other property listings that they have. So it's pretty cool. On the more button, sometimes they'll have attachments like inspections or anything like that. You can look through all the pictures. You can even make the pictures bigger. Turn your phone to the side. Look at those. Ooh, look at that nice, fresh pool. Just makes you want to run away. I'm just kidding. Okay, so MLS app for searching homes. That's literally how I set up tours. So then say that my client wants to tour this. I can add this to a new cart for my client tour. So now I've added it to their cart as something that they would want to see in the future. I can share it through text. I can send it to Sam, who's on this call right now. Oh, cancel. Where's my, oh, I'm right here. I also can get directions through any one of them that I want to. I prefer Waze. It will connect to my map. It will say, here's how you get there. You guys, this is huge. When I'm looking at properties, all the properties that I'm trying to look at, I put them in a cart and then I just go one by one through the properties and it gives me directions on where to go. And I don't have to get out of the app or do anything. It just does it for me. I love it. Okay. Also in this, so you can search, you can create carts so that you can put certain listings in a cart for a buyer. So what that does is that just holds them in a holding place so that way you don't have to go looking for them all over again. You can check out your recent searches. You can look for open houses. You can look for caravans. Under contacts, you can see all of your contacts and prospects. Do I have any? Yeah, I do. Okay. So you can see your contacts. You can even go look in your prospects cart and say, oh, look, this is all the homes that she's looked at or is interested in. You can search other agents in the office. So let's look up Gurneet. Let's see what we can find. There he is. I can look up Gurneet and I can say, okay, what office is he with? What's his contact information? Here's where my carts live. So this is where all the carts that I've ever had. And then when I go to show property, so say that I'm going to show Amelia and Andrew property. Here's all the properties that they want to see. I can click on one of the properties, go into it, get directions, and head to the property. And I love putting them on the map because then I can see, where should I start? Do I drive all the way to Arden and go to Carmichael and then to American River College and then to over there and then up into by Mercy San Juan? Or do I start at Mercy San Juan? But this really helps me organize my showings. So that way I'm not driving all over God's creation and I don't have to like figure out where, what house. It's just so convenient. So convenient. Under listings, you can also look up trends reports. So if you guys are brand new, or not brand new, but newer, this is amazing. So this actually tells you real estate statistics so that you can look at the market and you can say, okay, right now it looks like we've got, let's see, what's it say here? Here's the for sale sold pended. Okay, good. So that means we've got 7,699 homes for sale. 3,327 were sold. And we've got 3,853 that are pending. Wouldn't it be great if you had these statistics at your fingertips for when your clients are trying to talk to you about real estate and they're like, oh, the market's going to crash. And you're like, that's weird because we just sold 3,333 homes, which is actually more sales than the previous month. So that's weird that the market's going to crash. But you're going to be able to talk about these things because you have access to this right here at your fingertips. Okay, let's go back. If you have any listings, you can actually go to your listings and see them. Here's all of the closed listings I've got. But if you have on-market listings, you can edit your listing in this app as well. I don't have any on market, not yet, maybe next week. You can also look at my office listings. So I know a lot of you are probably wondering, man, how am I going to find an open house? Who would let me do an open house? Well, great. You can come in here and look at your office listings and you can find one. Look, here's, oh, this one's cute. That one's cute. This one's cute. Oh, this one's cute. This one's great. 394 in Roseville. That's unheard of. Looks like somebody's already got the open house for the 17th. You could probably get in and throw another open house this weekend. You could call the agent right now and say, hey, Joe, can I hold this house open? I'm going to give you a tip though. I like to sell 500 and up. Why? Because my commission is more. So I look for homes that are around that range. I mean, dang, if you want to bust into the luxury market, you need to meet luxury buyers, go hold a luxury home open. It's that simple. It's really that simple. Just put yourself in front of people that are buying those kinds of homes. So you can go through all of these. Look, let's go find a big one. Shoot, $1 million property sold is a $25,000 paycheck. It's pretty nice, right? That's changing lives. This is why I love this business, is because I can directly give myself a raise based off of who I put myself in front of and the activities that I do. So you should be calling Joe, and you should, or don't call Joe. Actually, all of Joe's listings are on our hub, which allows you to book open houses directly through the office. So you don't even have to call Joe for this listing. You can book this listing through our office. Super easy. Okay. Also in here, there are links to everything else that you can use within MLS. So it's got links to tax records. You can look up people's properties. So like, if you're like, hey, you know, I kind of wonder what if my friend owns a house. Let's see if Amy owns a house. See what kind of oh dang, lots of Tremaynes own houses. Okay. So here's all the homes that are owned by a Tremayne. So there's Sandra Tremayne, don't know her. Bruce Gregory Tremayne, don't know him. Oh, there's Amy Tremayne. Oh, there's my parents. There's the next door house. My parents own 2 houses next door to each other. Right? So you can even look people up and then you can go into their tax records. Let's go into this one. So now I'm looking at the tax records. I can see who owns the home, what's their actual billing address. So say that you're walking through a neighborhood and you see a property address on there and it's not on the MLS, but you can tell that it's abandoned. And you want to get a hold of the owner because you're thinking, hey, I could sell this property for you. You can look up the address on the tax records. It will tell you the owner's name. It will tell you their address. And you could 1, send them a letter, or 2, go skip trace them, find their phone number and call them. This is how agents are creating deals and getting listings and stuff like that.
I got a question.
Yeah.
You said something trace. What does that mean?
Skip trace.
Yeah.
Skip tracing is where you find people based off of one piece of information. So collection agencies use skip tracers, real estate agents use skip tracers. There's websites there's all kinds of websites around skip tracing. Just you can look it up, and People Finder is a website that you can pay like $1 to find somebody's phone number or stuff like that. Okay, so we can use the tax record. Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying thanks.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, for sure.
So there's all kinds of other things on here. Cloud CMA is how I put together listing presentations. Showing time is a way for you to request. Some listing agents like me, I tell everybody, don't call me for a showing, use showing time. So that's how you can use that, showing time, to set up showings. Under administrative, you can find your profile. I highly recommend that you go in and update your profile so that you have a picture and a bio. You can steal bios, it's not a big deal. If you go into the Ignite toolkit that we gave you, we've given you bio examples. It's under marketing. You can even go into their learning center. Oh, it's not in use right now. Let me try again. Oh, well, they don't have it. Usually it's up right now. It must be under maintenance. Usually you can click on Learning Center and it will take you to their training, and they have videos and trainings on how to run this entire app. If you need to write an offer, say that you have a buyer that's like, I want to write an offer on Pinehurst. Okay, good. I can pull this listing number and then I can enter into Zip Forms Mobile, which is up here at the top. And I can start to write them an offer using the listing number to get information. We'll get into that next. Okay, any questions about the MLS app? All right, let's go back to my little presentation here. Okay, so we went over the MLS app. We talked about art, cards. We talked about property details. I spent a lot of time on that. Let's move forward. All right, we're going to talk about Zip Forms Mobile. Where's my people? I can't see you. There we go. So Zip Forms, what is Zip Forms? Zip Forms is where we get all of our contracts, all of them. In fact, if somebody says Zip Forms contracts, one and the same thing. Zip Forms is the platform that we use to house all of our contracts, to fill them out, to send them to sign through DocuSign. It's a whole system. So the two things that and how'd you get Zip Forms? You signed up for the Sacramento Association of Realtors or Yuba or Placer, wherever you signed up. When you sign up for the Association of Realtors, they provide you with access to California Association of Realtors, which then gives you access to Zip Forms. Zip Forms is Great, because that's how we write all our contracts. There's an app on your phone for it. You can use the MLS Connect in order to fill in data automatically. You can send the signing package to your client automatically. You can add a listing agent as recipient, so that I don't recommend this. I don't recommend it. I recommend that you send it separately. So every time you send out a document, if you add, so a lot of agents will like add me or add the person that's supposed to receive it as a recipient. Don't do that in this business. Send the document to the buyer or seller to sign, get the document back, send the PDF in a separate email, and I'll show you guys how to do that. It literally has all the capabilities of a ZipForms website, which is kind of rare for an app. Most apps don't have all of the capabilities. I can't, on the MLS app, I can't enter a new listing. I can't create a new contact. So there are some limitations with the app version. Again, you can go to your desktop, you can go to your browser and get the desktop version, but the Zip Mobiles, it literally has everything. It's great. One tip, if you haven't already, get with Vince Catapano or whoever your tech trainer is and connect your DocuSign into ZipForms, so that way you can use DocuSign. You get a free DocuSign account when you sign up with Keller Williams. It's so easy, so much easier to use those because you can go in and fix things. You can change the DocuSigns. If you're going to be using the DigiSign that's provided through ZipForms, it just kind of stinks. I'm just saying. So I'm going to share my screen again. Hold on one second. Okay, so you guys should be able to see my phone screen again. So we were just at Pinehurst with our client, right? They called us and said, we just got to see Pinehurst. We're like, $1 million. I'm in the car right now. Thank you very much. So we looked at Pinehurst and now they're like, Amy, Mike, Elton, Gurney, or whoever is showing them, we want to write an offer today. All right, cool. So let's take a look at this. All offers are to be emailed to the listing agent. That's what it says right there. Corporate sellers sold as is, all offers emailed to the listing agent. Offers must have an updated pre-approval letter and proof of funds. Seller has a preferred title and escrow. Buyer's agent to verify all info. I get a $3,500 bonus from the seller if I sell this thing. Okay, I like it. I like where this is going. I clicked on more. There's no other information there for me to include. And I know that it's Joe that I got to send the offer to. So I've got Joe's email, I've got his phone number, I've got everything I need to do. So first thing I would do whenever writing an offer is I would call Joe and be like, hey, what's up, Joe? I'm going to write an offer. Anything specific? If Joe doesn't answer the phone, I don't wait for Joe to get back to me to write the offer. I just write the offer the best that I can. So first things first, if I'm going to use ZipForms to do it, I'm going to copy that number. The MLS number is how we get all of the information to transfer over to ZipForms, and I'm going to show you how to do that now. So I'm going to go into ZipForms. Usually when you sign in, you're probably going to come to this dashboard. I never use the dashboard. It's not really my thing. I don't manage my transactions through here. I literally only use this for the forms, just for the contracts and to send things automatically to sign. So I live in this space called transactions. And in transactions, if I click on new, it will help me create a new transaction. I create a new transaction for every client I work with. If it's a listing, then I put it under the address because the listing is never going to change. It's always going to be that. So if I'm working with the seller, it's listed as the address. If I'm working with the buyer, I list it as the buyer. Why? Probably because the buyer's going to write a ton of offers on multiple homes and I don't want to have a new file for every home. I'll show you why that's important. So I'm going to click on new purchase. I'm going to enter my client name, Mr. Buyer. And this is a residential home. And I'm going to save that. Now I have templates set up, meaning that I have a specific stuff that goes into every transaction that's a buyer. And you can set those up too, but I'm going to show you what what it all looks like. So when you start a new transaction, you've got all this information that it's like, enter here. No, I don't ever enter it there. The first thing I do is I click on MLS Connect. Did you guys see where that was? Right there, there's e-sign, MLS Connect, Record Connect. I click MLS Connect, and then I paste my listing ID, and I ask it to include the property photo, and then I click find. So you can see at the top that I had to enter my MLS user ID and password. It's going to use my MLS user ID and password to log into the MLS. It's going to enter that listing ID, and then it's going to find my house. And then I can click import and yes, and it's going to import all that information. So I don't have to. Isn't that nice? So nice. So all my information is in there now. For the most part, there's still some things I need to fill out. So I'm going to click on this drop-down menu right here. And then I go straight into documents because that's where my documents are. You need 2 documents for a buyer. You need a cover sheet and a residential purchase agreement. The cover sheet is strictly for data entry purposes. It just makes it easier. If you want to add a form, you can click over here, and here's all the forms that are available on every single type of transaction. Literally, if you're like, I wonder if I need a form for that, you do, and it lives in here. So first things first, I'm going to fill out what I need to fill out on here, which would be buyer name. So I can just click there, Mr. Buyer. And I'm going to need him to DocuSign things. So I'm going to enter his email, mrbuyer@gmail. Oh, I'll enter mine so that way you guys can see the DocuSign go through. Okay, Mr. Buyer's name is in there. Now it's going to enter Mr. Buyer's name in all of the documents. It's not going to give anybody his email because it's just going to use it for when we send a DocuSign. You don't need address, phone number, any of that. If you're working with the seller, then you would put that down here in sellers, but I'm not. Let's go over here. Okay, so you can see below it entered the address for me. It entered the price. I do need the assessor parcel number, which I can get from the tax records. So let's go back to the MLS and get that from the tax records. I can click up here and real list. So whenever you're looking for tax records, you're looking for the word real list, tax records. So I'm going to click on real list, and it's going to open me up to the tax record. And then I can scroll down. Here's the APN. I can copy. It says phone number, but that's funny. I can copy that, and then I go straight back into Zip Forms. Click on APN. Enter it. I get so excited whenever I teach this class because I literally stood in front of a home in one of the highest markets that we've been in, and there were like multiple offers on this property, and the offers were due within 2 hours of me, and I'm standing in front of the home. My clients are like, oh my God, we really want this home. What are we going to do? No joke. And it sounds like I'm like telling a commercial or some fib. I'm not. This happened to me. So I'm like, don't worry. I run my whole business from my phone. Let's just write the offer right now. So I did this. I wrote the offer. I sent it to them to sign. They got it on their phone through their email. They signed it. They got it back to me. I put an email together with the offer, the pre-approval, and their bank statement proof of funds, and I sent it to the agent. And then we went and looked at other homes. By the time I was done showing them homes that day, I had that offer accepted. That's why I get so excited about this, because I'm like, like this is how you become top, or at least set yourself apart, right? Okay. So I put that in, and then I need to put in like, what are we going to buy this house for? So purchase price. It's $1 million something, but it's been on the market for a while. So we're going to offer $950, right? So I'm going to go $950. There's the purchase price. Purchase date, today. Deposit 9,500. Boom. Now I've got my profile filled out. So it already has my name, my address. If you don't have this information filled out on your profile in Zip Forms, it's not going to enter it. So you can go in and fill it out, or you can just enter it here. And also because I used MLS Connect, it's entered all of the listing agents information too. So now I'm pretty much done with this. I'm going to hit save and I'm going to go back. Now, the beauty of this is that when I open up the purchase agreement, you're going to see it's all filled out. Oh, I got to change my broker. Something's up with this. There we go. So it's all filled out. I just need to enter some check marks somewhere. So it's all filled out. And now I can go in here and some of the offers even filled out for me. All I have to do is check some boxes, put in some other terms. Maybe I need to put in the loan amount. They're putting down 10, maybe they're putting down 10% for a jumbo loan. So they're putting down 95,000. So maybe they're putting down more, 150,000. So now my loan amount is 800. And I can fill out this entire offer. Say that I get the offer all filled out and I save it. Now I want to send it to my client to sign, right? Because we're on a deadline and I got to get this done. I can click e-sign right here. You can select different signing, but I choose DocuSign because it's free and my account's already set up. I can hit next. You guys, I got a pop-up blocker. Now I got to go into my settings. If you ever have a pop-up blocker, you just got to go into your app settings and change that. There we go. Now it should work. Let's see what I'm doing wrong. Pop-up blockers. Dang it. This is new. Pop-up's not blocked. Let's try it again. Maybe I gotta log back in. All right, it takes me right there. Let's try this. I didn't know they were gonna like change my settings on me before the class. Jeez. Ah, dang it. Okay, guys, we're not gonna bore you with that and try to fix it right now, but I will fix it. And when you do that, it takes it directly into DocuSign. So it will take it into DocuSign and it will place all of the buyer signatures for you. And then all you have to do is hit send. Once you hit send, you'll see here that it will send it'll say, please DocuSign residential purchase agreement. It'll have all your signers listed here. And when it's all done, you can actually look at the document. So let's take a look at this. Preview my document. There it is. Now, if I want to send this signed offer to the listing agent, I can simply click on that, use my Gmail app, put in their name. So let's say it's me, Amy Tremayne. Let's go get the address. Oh, it's in here. Oh, sorry guys, I'm trying to find my offer. It's in DocuSign. There we go. Now it's catching up. Okay, so now I'm back in DocuSign to my email. Here's the address, offer, I can even go into the Ignite toolkit. So let's go into the Ignite toolkit in the Drive. Oops. Let's go Ignite. Ignite toolkit. Let's say buyers. I got an offer email here. I can select all of this, copy it, and paste it into my email. Oh, I copied and pasted the wrong thing. Dang it, hold on one second. Let's go back. In the Ignite toolkit, you have this offer letter, right? I don't know if you guys can see, but it's basically like, hey, my buyers love this property. I can copy this and I can put it into this email. It's not, I don't know why it's not. Hold on one second. Email, Amy, offer. That's why. Select all. You guys. Select all. Copy. Let's see if it works this time. If not, we're moving on. There we go. Okay, I was like, this is not in my class. Okay, so now I've got this email. Does it look beautiful? No, it doesn't. I got to go in and change it. This is what I did. I stood in front of my clients and I'm like, all right, here we go. I've got all this stuff here that I need to move around a little bit, but I'm doing it all for my phone. I don't have to wait for anybody. I can put in the offer details, $950, 9500 deposit. See what I mean? And when it's all done, I can send it to myself. Offer sent. Now all I have to do is text the listing agent and say, hey, I just sent you an offer. It's pretty easy. Just takes a little bit of practice. All right. I got other stuff to show you. This ain't even it. So we know that zip forms, or I'm sorry, we know that MLS and zip forms, those are the two that you're going to use the most. Now you know if you're ever in a pinch and you need to, you can run your business from your phone in that capacity. So what are some other things that you can use to make your life a lot easier? You saw that I use my email app. I use my email. I have my email on my phone. Why? And I have all of my inboxes go to one inbox. Don't separate. If you're going to be a real estate agent, just know now it's going to take over your life. Don't separate anything. Don't have a separate phone for business. Don't have a separate, you can have a separate email, but put everything in one inbox. Everything comes to one inbox for me. That way I don't miss anything. You definitely don't want to miss something because you didn't check that inbox or something like that. So use Gmail, whatever you want. Keller Williams gives you a free Gmail. When you get a Gmail, you get a G Suite. Everything that comes along with G Suite is pretty cool. Not only does it have email capabilities, but you also have some other stuff as well. So you've got Sheets, Google Sheets, Google Forms, Google Docs, Google Docs. You've got presentations. You've got, Google Slides. In fact, you guys, this presentation that you're looking at, I created on my phone using, let me show you. So let's go look at G Suite. Come on, go. Okay, so first we've got Gmail. We all know about that. You can see that I have multiple inboxes for me here. Then I've got primary. I've got it all labeled out with different things. So you can use Gmail. I also have lots of different emails that go into one. See how many emails I got? It's ridiculous. They all go into one inbox. Along with Gmail, you also get a G Drive. Google Drive is huge. Let's get my face in front of it. I have my whole life in here, everything. So that way when I'm out and somebody's like, oh, I really need this document. Like when you guys call me or text me and are like, oh my gosh, I don't know where this is. And I'm like, hold on, let me get it for you. I am never sitting in front of my computer. I'm usually on my phone going through Drive trying to find it for you. So I have everything in here, and we keep the Ignite toolkit, and a lot of the stuff that we provide to you is through Drive. So get it, have it on your phone. What else do you get? You also get sheets. So I have a tracker for all of my income, my business. I have revenue, expenses. Here's my P&L. And it's all in Google Sheets, so it's on my phone. So when people are like, oh, well, what was your revenue last year? Well, I don't even have to guess. I can pull it up and I can say, here's my revenue. It's great. How many deals did you close last year? I don't have to guess. It's all right there for me. Also, there's little apps. Oh, I'll get to that later. We're on G Suite right now. Not only that, but you also have slides. You can create presentations in slides. I've done it before. You have, what else is on G Drive specifically? I think that's all that I use. You can also use Google Forms to create forms, so you can like questionnaires and things like that to send your clients if you really want to. But I think it's a really great tool. Google also has Google Translate. Okay, so we live in such a diverse world, and people use, there's just so many different languages spoke, and the United States is a melting pot of so many different people, and it's amazing. I wish that I spoke more languages, but I don't. And I tried to learn how to speak Spanish, but it took a long time, and I was like, I suck. So basically I made an excuse and I decided not to learn the language, but that's okay, because Google Translate is there for me. If I ever have a client that has maybe a hard time speaking English, or we're having a hard time communicate, I no longer have to pass that client off to somebody else. I can use Google Translate. There's over 90 languages, 90 languages. So now if you have a client that might not understand, you can actually work with them. I just thought that was like one of the most amazing things. Google Translate is fantastic. Okay. So let's take a look at DocuSign. DocuSign is another app that you should have on your phone. Not only does it connect with zip forms so that you can make sure that you're sending your documents to your clients, but it also is something that you can use at any point in time to sign anything. You can also use it to turn pictures into PDFs. You can use it to turn anything into a PDF because you can scan. So I can come over here and take these notes. Take a picture. Now I've got this picture on here and I can send it to myself. That's pretty cool. There's my document. If I really needed to send that, when does this come in? Maybe you write something down, you're like, I got to remember this. Let me email it to myself, what have you. Maybe you just need to scan something into PDF. Who knows? Signing things. Like there's been so many times where I'm out and about and somebody's been like, we need you to sign this right now. Well, I can't. I'm out and about. But if they email it to me or even text it to me, I can upload it into DocuSign. I can sign it right then and there and email it right back to them. It's like a beautiful thing. When you get into transactions, you're going to understand why. Sometimes you need it like right now. And if you can't do it until you get to a computer, it's going to trip your whole thing up. Okay. One thing I really wanted to show you guys was our command apps. So I don't know if you guys have downloaded these yet, but you should. The first one is the consumer app. This is for all of your clients. The first thing that you do when you download this is you're downloading it and you're registering yourself like a client of yourself. Does that make sense? So put your KW email in there, put your password in, and you're going to create a profile. So you can see that I have a profile. I have like saved properties and let me see here. Where's my saved? Oh, here we go. So here's Amy's, those are my properties, right? This is my profile as a consumer. At the very top of, like, if you're on, here's the search. And then if you click on more in the corner, you can brand this app to yourself. So if you open your app, it probably doesn't have anybody in there right now. It probably says add agent. You can click on that, type in your name, and your profile should come up and you can add yourself as the agent. Why does this matter? Well, when I send this out to somebody, so if I share this app, it will say to them, I use the KW app to search for homes with my agent, Amy Tremayne. That's beautiful, super powerful. Not only that, but when they get it and they look at it, my name's right there. And when they look at homes, I pop up as my agent. So when they go like this, they can reach out to me. It's really important because who else do you know has an app with their picture on it? Not very many people. Not very many people at all. They can use the buying and selling guide. So this buying and selling guide gives them information on buying a property. What's that look like? This is great because you can educate a lot of what we do is educating clients on how real estate works. And it's so nice when you don't have to educate them on the bare bones. So you can send this to them and you can say, hey, you should check out my app. Not only can you look for homes, but there's a buying guide. There's a selling guide. And this is not like little stuff. This is really in-depth stuff. You can save properties. So this is my bank of saved properties. I can share properties. So say that I really like this and I want to share it. I can share it with whoever I want. My clients will sometimes send me properties from my app and be like, we want to see this one. I can also add a co-buyer. So if they want to collaborate with somebody, so if you've got two buyers, one buyer downloads the app, they add a co-buyer, and now they can both see everything that each other's doing. It's pretty dope. They can find Keller Covered. So this is insurance products, Keller Mortgage. They can look for Keller Mortgage and get pre-approved. Affordability calculator to see if what they can afford based on what they want their payment to be. It's pretty cool. They can also, I love this part. So it uses your GPS to find you and then tells you what's around you. I use this at open houses and I say, how are you finding homes right now? And they're like, oh, we're just driving around looking for signs, looking for open houses. I'm like, wow, that's extremely inefficient. Why don't you just use my app and then wherever you're located, you can just hit the location button and it will find you and tell you everything that's around. And even better, if you click on more and you scroll to the bottom, you can click on open houses and you can find every open house that's available and when's the date and time. And if you want to go look at any of these, I'm happy to go with you. And then they're like, oh yeah, absolutely. I would love that. Okay, great. I'll text it to you. This is better than any sign-in sheet. Like, I don't know how many times I've wrote the wrong number on a sign-in sheet, you know? So I don't, for open houses, I use this. I give them the app and I say, and I text it to them and I give them value first so that way I can get their number. Okay, one more app. One more and we're done. I want to check in though, because I've been talking a lot. Has this been valuable? Okay, I see. Yes, I see. Okay, good.
It's just been a little fast at times, so I'm glad it's recording.
Am I too fast? Okay. So the recording will be back on and we'll send it all out to you guys so you can slow it down. I'm sorry. There's a lot of content. I'll be slower next time. So last app. Keller Williams came out with Command app. So you guys have probably heard about Command, and this is how you're going to run your business, and this is where you're going to keep your database. Well, lucky for us, we have an app that we get to use, and it will tell you what tasks you have to do up here at the top. So I can click on the past due tasks. I can go into here. I can even call Andy. It'll let me call from my phone. And then when I'm done talking to Andy, it will ask me to leave a note. And I can leave a note. Not only that, it'll tell me if I have any leads that I've never contacted. If I have any recently active people. So it looks like these are my recently active. Look, this is my past client. This is proof that if you stay in contact with your past client, they will continue to use your services. She bought a home from me a couple years ago. They're not in market, but she still looks at my stuff. It will show me everything about this client, my entire timeline. She looks at the neighborhood nurtures I send her every month. It'll show me any opportunities I have, so any transactions. It'll tell me what smart plans she's on, any notes that I have on her, and any tasks that are due. It will also tell me any opportunities that I have. So you can see right now I have one active listing. It's not on the MLS. And then I have 3 under contract. These are all that I have under contract. It will also tell me whose birthday. You guys, I'm going to tell you, calling people on their birthday is like one of it. All of us agents talk about it, but it's like the most random way for you to get business. People love their birthdays and they love hearing from people on their birthdays. So if you have an opportunity to call your database on their birthday, do it. What's so funny about it is that I don't even call expecting to get business, and I wind up getting some out of it because people are like, oh my God, she called me on my birthday. And then finally, it'll tell you your anniversaries. So my friend April and David both have an anniversary. It looks like the 18th and the 20th. So it's telling me ahead of time, hey, you need to call these people and say, happy home anniversary. How's the house going? It just keeps me on point with my clients. You can update, you can look at your profile. You can share your KW app. You can click on here and go to some command training. If you're like, I don't know how to use any of this. There's trainings. And then it'll tell me profit share. My profit share was pretty low last month. I would like to get that up. So if you guys know anybody that's looking to get into real estate, you should also work on your profit share. Did you know that's free money? It's not technically free because the only thing what you did was you told somebody about Keller Williams and then they signed up and then they sold the house and the office made money off of them. And you know, every dollar that the office makes, they give 48 cents back to the agents every single month. So what this is telling me is that the agents that I've brought on aren't selling very many homes, or they sold maybe a small home and I got my $3. There are agents, including one of them that's part of our office, his name's Stan Reed, and he is retired off of profit share. I think, and this is a quote that is in the ether, so it's probably a story, but I think he makes like $6 grand a month on profit share. Passive income, $6 grand a month, passive income. That's legit. Okay. Any questions? Anything you want me to touch back on? Since I went so fast, I'm sorry. No?
It was really just the transition that you did from going from the Metro list to the DocuSign. Like I was having trouble because I was trying to follow along and you were
Oh,
going
okay.
a little too quick. So that was all that it was. But and then I figured it out when just kind of messing with it as we were going.
Okay, good. All right. Well, hey, you guys, I really appreciate you guys showing up for yourselves and for me today. It means a lot to me. And I want you guys to know that you should have my contact information. So if at any point in time you want to talk to me, I'm here for you. I'm a live real estate agent. I'm still in the business. I got a listing appointment this weekend and I'm supposed to write up a listing today. I had buyers go on a contract last week. So I'm still working in the business and I'm living it with you. So if you ever have any questions or need any support whatsoever, just call me up. I'm happy to help. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Amy.
Bye.
Thank you.